Hey guys, how you doing? I know there's a few of you that have jumped on. Do me a favor, just give me a like if you can hear me all right, because I've got my headphones in and it may not work. Obviously you won't know that because you can't hear it, but you can see it. There you go, nice one. Give us a little love heart as well, just because I need a bit of love today. Look at my eyes, I'm tired, I've been hustling, guys, so I may need a bit of love tonight, all right? Nice one. Thank you. Okay, let me know where you're coming in from as well, and then we'll get this show on the road. From Wexford, Ireland. Respect. I love Ireland. I was there a few weeks ago. Hey Donna, how you doing? Hey Ross. Looking forward to seeing you very soon. Hey thanks for that. Yeah, I enjoyed the call. It was great. South Wales in the house. From Merthyr Tydfil. Are you from Merthyr, Kerry? Or near there? I once had a very good night out down there. There was a TV show in the UK called Britain's 10 roughest or baddest pubs. And one of them was in Merthyr Tydfil, and it was number 2 on the list. And I decided that I would make it my mission to just go and check this pub out and see what it was like. Not because I'm into fighting or anything. It was just kind of a bit of a tourist thing to do. I don't know if there's anything else to do there other than that. So I went in there, and it was a pretty dire pub, if I'm honest. But there was something funny. There was a sign on the door that said, "If you cause trouble, the police will not be called." So you can imagine what happened if you did get into a scrape in that kind of place. So I think we had one quick drink, a shot of lager, and then we legged it. But yeah, all good. Thanks for jumping on, guys. Really appreciate it. I'm going to kick it off. I'm going to move your comments now. Move you to the right because I get distracted. My attention deficit disorder kicks in and I get all over the place and start reading your comments and it takes me off track. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just tell you where I've been. I mean, I know a lot of you guys have kind of been tracking what's going on, and I think the great thing about the industry that we're in, and one of the reasons I joined was to travel. And this year alone, I've probably been on 100 flights, if not more, this year alone. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more than 100. I've not actually sat down and tallied them all up, but that was one of the reasons that I got involved. And when I kind of left the personal training industry behind, or not left it behind, but took it online, that was one of my main reasons for doing so. And joining network marketing that's what I saw when I joined. It was the ability to work anywhere in the world from your smartphone. You know the line, if you ain't building a business from your smartphone, if you ain't making money from your smartphone, you've got a dumb phone. And, you know, it's never been easier, right, with our phones and how good they are and the technology that's behind us right now. Look at Facebook Live, for example, Zoom calls, all that kind of stuff. So traveling was always my big why. It was my biggest reason, just going out there, seeing cool places. I mean, two of the guys that are in my team at the moment, they're out down in South America, and it just looks incredible what they're doing. Shout out to Danielle and Paul. And you know, the fact that they just I just love watching what they're doing on Facebook. They're in Guatemala, they were in Colombia, they were in some like crazy rainforest with like mad lodges, just looking out on the mountains and hills and in the rainforest, trekking, doing all that kind of stuff. And every time they had Wi-Fi, they got the ability to build the business for a little bit. And that's what we do, guys. That's what this business is about. If traveling's your kind of your motivation, it might not be that. You might be a total home bird. You might just want to look after your babies and maybe have more babies and maybe have more babies and do that, which is cool as well, because it gives you that option to be a stay-at-home mum and be a mumpreneur, sitting there on your phone and building your business while your kids are crawling around and you're looking after them. So I've just been traveling, and I know some of you have kind of been involved in that journey either physically and you've actually met up with me, or watching it on Facebook, or joining some of the lives or the live broadcast. So here's where I've been. I flew out from Manchester to Dubai in September. Before that, actually, I was in Finland and Sweden the very first couple of days in September, and then I think on the 7th I flew to Dubai. Incredible experience. I flew out business class. There was a bar on the plane. Had a few cheeky drinks on the plane. Met some cool people. Did a bit of pitching. Did a bit of prospecting. There was a couple of air stewards and stewardesses that were interested in network marketing, interested in the business model and how it all worked. And when you tell people that you're going away for a month and you're still getting paid every single day, people can't really get their heads around that. So they always want to know, like, how's that possible? So traveling's actually a great business builder. Little tip for you, always sit in the middle seat on the plane, because you've got someone to talk to on the left and someone to talk to on the right. The beauty of going business class is they've got a bar on the plane, so you can literally just network and mingle and natter and chat to other people, and you'll always meet some very cool people on planes. That's why I love travelling as well. Airports are pretty epic for meeting new people. Anyway, so I flew out there, flew to Dubai, then Dubai to Perth. Perth was incredible. I know it was like coming to the end of their winter there, but it was still beautiful, beautiful blue skies, beautiful weather, beautiful people. Flew from Perth to Melbourne. We had an aborted landing, which was pretty crazy. We were coming down into Adelaide, and then just as we were coming down, it went back up. It was pretty frigging scary, if I'm honest. And the captain came on. He was like, yeah, the emergency light came on. We got hit by a crosswind. We had to bring the plane back up. And it was literally silence on the plane and a bit of crying. And he said, don't worry, we'll get you down on the ground at the next attempt. And I was like, get us down on the ground? You mean safely on the ground, right? Not just down on the ground. So luckily, we survived and we landed safely. And we flew on from there to Melbourne. Melbourne, very, very cool city. The weather was very much like Manchester at the time, and pretty crazy, like fog and mist and all that kind of stuff. Saw a very cool Aussie rules football game, and 100,000 people watching it. It was just epic. It was unbelievable. Flew from there to Sydney. You've all probably seen Sydney on the TV. Very, very cool city. Great people. Did a couple of events while I was there. I actually did events at every single state where I was at, every single city. And then flew from Sydney up to the Gold Coast, which was beautiful, great weather, red hot, really nice people, and did some more events while I was there. Then flew from, probably the best flight I've ever done, flew from Brisbane over the Pacific Ocean, over some like amazing like islands, golden sand, and these little islands. If you go on my Facebook profile and scroll back, you'll be able to see some of the pictures of like these crazy little islands. Very, very cool. Over the Pacific, direct flight from there to Los Angeles. Spent a couple of days with my brother in Beverly Hills, did some cool stuff. Went up to Runyon Canyon, saw the Hollywood sign, and then flew to Atlanta, did the John Maxwell thing, which was a life-changing experience for me. Just not only as just an absolute legend the guy is, like very, very humble, but as a speaker, probably the best communicator that I've ever seen. I mean, I wasn't lucky enough to see Jim Rohn speak in the flesh because he's sadly no longer with us. But for me, John Maxwell is definitely on that level of knowledge, that level of communication. And he said some very cool things that obviously related to network marketing. And one I just want to share with you now is what he said was, John Maxwell said, stop asking how long is it going to take and start asking how far can I go? And that just totally flipped it for me, because I think a lot of people give up and quit in our industry far too soon before they've even got going with it, before they have a couple of no's, they have a couple of people tell them it's a scam, it's a pyramid scheme, it's all that bullshit, and they give up like that because they keep asking themselves, how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take? How long is it going to take? Instead of saying, like, how far can I go with this? How many lives can I change? How many people can I impact? How can I change my life? How can I do more cool shit? How can I travel more? How can I experience better things? And to be able to do that and asking how much you can get and how much you can give and how far you can go with this business is a much better question to ask yourself than how long is it going to take. And I get that we're all hungry, and I get that we all want incredible things to happen to us, and I get that we're all dead impatient, because you know what, I was. But it's a bit like doing one gym session and then looking in the mirror after it when you get home going, where's my six pack? Do you know what I mean? And I know we've all done that as well, right? 2 weeks in, you're like, nothing's happening yet, nothing's working. But let me tell you, if you quit the gym, is it the gym's fault that you don't get the results that you want? Because you can go and join another gym, but it's the same equipment. So the gym isn't the thing that's letting you down. The gym isn't the thing that's going to give up on you. You're the only person that can determine where you're going to go with this business. So I just want to move on to a quick little comment about November. It's a phenomenal month for building network marketing businesses. It's a phenomenal month for growing your organization. It's a phenomenal month for growing your customer base. It's a phenomenal month for getting positioned for 2017. Why? Because people are looking for something else. There'll be mums sat at home now looking at the catalogues going, I can't afford to buy my babies what they want for Christmas. I really wanted to buy my husband this. I really wanted to buy my daughter this. I really wanted to buy my wife this. But I just can't afford it. And would an extra $500, would an extra £300, would an extra €600, be dead honest, give me a like, would an extra €600, an extra $1,000 a month, give you a better Christmas than you had last year? And I know money isn't everything, and it isn't all about the money, but what money gives you is choices. So would an extra $1,000 a month, £500 a month, would an extra £500 this December give you a better Christmas, or give you the option to have a better Christmas than you had last year? Just give me a like on that one if you agree with it. And then the next thing which is vital, and this is what we do as a community, this is what we do as network marketers, this is what we do as business builders and people builders, is would an extra £500 this December allow one of your friends to have a better Christmas than they did this time last year? And I think that's what we've got to go out there, guys, and we've got to be mission driven in the point of, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do whatever it takes to help as many people as I can have a better Christmas than last year. Because that money will allow them freedom. They might be able to take time off work. They might be able to have an extra day off. They might be able to buy the kids something that they couldn't normally afford. They might be able to buy themselves something that they couldn't normally afford. They might be able to fly the parents over from a different state, or pay for the train fare to go and visit somebody. That's what money gives you, and that's what I'm talking about. It's choices, and it doesn't have to be the £1,000,000. It doesn't have to be the hundreds and thousands. It needs to be real income. And I just said on a call that I did for one of the girls in our team, what would you have to do in your current job to earn an extra £6,000 a year? What would you have to do in your current job to earn an extra £6,000 a year? How many hours would you have to put in extra? How many would you have to go back to uni and get a qualification? Would you have to apply for another job? Would you have to sleep with somebody? No, I'm joking. So what would you have to do to earn that extra £600 a month, which would be an extra $6,000 a year in your current job? Now, in network marketing, we teach people how to do that from home. I'm sat here now, I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. I'm sat at home on my kitchen table, literally staring at a tap and on Facebook Live to you guys. So that's kind of what I wanted to say for now. It's a perfect time to build your business. Never been a better time. People are looking for opportunities at Christmas, and just go out there and share what we do with them. So I'm going to open it up to questions and go from there. So just throw it at me, guys, the first one, and I'll answer it. Guys, if you want to share this video with your teams as well, feel free. I mean, after the call or before. I should have said that at the beginning. Okay, Dina, cool question. Have your best reps mostly been customers? I think the great thing about bringing customers into the business and then turning them into reps or distributors is half the job is already done. So they already know about the products, they already know about how the products work, they already know how to market the products because you've already taught them that because they're a customer. So, and they've already got a loyalty to the product, which I think makes a massive difference whatever company you're with. You know, if you've got that loyalty to your product, then you're likely to kind of buy into it a little bit more than just going, you know what, I want to make some money. But that doesn't mean people can't sign up for the business first and then fall in love with the product. But I think number one is if you've got somebody on your team that has a kind of an affinity with the product and a bulletproof story of how the products help them, then it's very, very strong when you're sharing your story, because all we are really is storytellers. You know, I took a product, I used the service, this is how it made me feel, this is what it did for my friend, this is what it did for my family. I'm telling you about it because, you know, I care about you. It's as simple as that. Okay. What do you do when you feel you're stuck? Gemma, cool question. I mean, I've been there myself. I think the first thing to do is be totally honest with yourself. So why are you stuck? Are you really playing full out? Like if you could let's score your last 90 days in the business. And I remember I was stuck at a position for 2 years. I was earning about £300 a month for 2 years. Sometimes it dropped under that. And I had a realization. I was trying to build so many different businesses. And I asked myself the question, and you can do this as well, am I really playing full out? Am I really giving it everything that I've got? Am I going to bed late and am I getting up early? Am I doing this on my dinner hour? Or am I still spending time gossiping in the canteen, looking at cats getting scared of cucumbers on Facebook, pissing around, you know, checking out people's lives on Facebook? Or am I actually using Facebook to build a business properly? And that's what you've got to ask yourself. And that's kind of where I was at. So I realized, and I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, you know what, John, you ain't even playing at this at 20%. Never mind 50% or 100%. Like, you're playing at this at, it's nothing. You've not even started properly. And for me, I always have to say, like, before, and I don't like to use the word give up because I would never give up. But before I kind of admit whether something works or not, I need to know that I've 100% committed to where I want to be. And if I've committed to it, then I can say, you know what, it worked or it didn't work, but at least I gave it my all. So number one, have you given it your all? Number two, I think what you need to realize is the people that get you to one position will never be the people that get you to the next position. Very, very rarely. What we've got to be continually doing in this business is bringing in new customers and new team members, new customers and new team members, new customers and new team members. There's only stability in action. You cannot stop, because once you stop, it starts to go backwards. You know, it's as simple as that. There's only stability in action. So you've got to keep bringing in new people, because the people that got me to the third rank in my company aren't even in the business anymore. Some of the people that got me to the top rank in the company aren't even in my business anymore. So what am I doing? I'm continually recruiting. I'm continually bringing new people in. I'm continually signing up people, because that's where the excitement is. And a great mentor of mine, Jeff Roberti, around about $500,000 a month. He said to me, there is no problem that cannot be solved in network marketing that 5 new team members doesn't solve. So if you're struggling and you feel like you're stuck, go, you know what, I'm going to go out and bring 5 new team members in. I'm going to go out and bring 5 new customers in. So that's how you get over being stuck. Imran, best way to recruit, you know, build relationships. This kind of goes into Darren's conversation, the next question beneath. Like, cold calling, I've tried it. It's just tiresome. You know, the best thing you can do is build relationships with people. So you can turn a cold prospect into a warm prospect simply just by becoming the friend. It's as simple as that. So get into a relationship with somebody, not to think, oh, I can't wait to pitch them the business, can't wait to pitch them the product. Actually get into the relationship to give, to find out about them, to find out, you know, how they kind of process stuff, what their life's like, what they want to do, what they want to achieve. Kind of build a friendship first, because people only sign up to people that they like. I haven't got anybody that's in my team, well, I might be wrong, but they think, you know what, that John's a bit of a dickhead, but I really want to be mentored by him. Nobody has ever messaged me and said that. Like, this guy's a clown, but I really want to be mentored by him. All right, maybe you've called me a clown. But people want to be mentored and want to work with people that they like. So number one, you've got to build that trust. You've got to build that kind of relationship where they know that you've got their back first. And if you do that, then people want to work with you all day long. But as soon as you send in messages saying, hey, do you want to join my team? Like, that just says, I don't give a shit about who you are. I just want something from you. Those messages never, they very rarely work. The other problem with those messages is you can't go back. What you're going to keep doing, sending the same message every month, doesn't work, right? But if you go and say, hey, Darren, how you doing, man? You know, spotted your profile online, really like some of your comments and your stuff. Just thought I'd connect with you because I'm kind of into the same thing as you. He accepts your friend request. He replies to your message. There you go. You've got the right process. Then all you've got to do is say, you know, build on that relationship, build on it and build on it and build on it. And then there might be an opportunity where he says, you know what, I'm looking to get fit. I'm looking to change my electricity, whatever your service or your product is. I'm looking to earn some extra income. Do you know of any ways? That's kind of how a lot of my business comes. So, and a lot of my new signups and new people that join my team, it's all about relationships. It always has been and it always will be. The reason our industry gets a bad reputation is because people are sending messages to people saying, join my team, you can make X amount. Join my team, you can make X. That isn't going to work. So building relationships is the best way to be. What is the one tip that can override other tips? Okay, very, very simple. Keep going until you find the result that you want. That is the only way that I got where I was, because it wasn't working, but I kept going. It wasn't working, but I kept going. It wasn't working, but I tried something else. It wasn't working, and I tried another strategy. It wasn't working, and I tried another strategy, and then I carried on and carried on and carried on. Never in my mind it was like when my mum and dad was telling me to quit, when my friends were laughing at me, saying it was never going to work, saying that I was lying about my check, all that kind of stuff. When people were taking the piss out of me, it was irrelevant because I was so focused that I was going to do it until I found the answers. How do you encourage people to believe it's not expensive? Everything's relative. You know, some people will buy a Rolls Royce, but somebody else might say, you know what, I'm going to buy 10 Toyotas instead. So it's all about how you value something, how you value your service. So, you know, people might, if you've got, I represent a health product, and I've had guys smoking saying that they can't afford my products. Like literally with a cigarette in the mouth going, I can't afford it. I can't afford to take it, I'm sorry. So it's all about choices, right? You can go out on a weekend and blow £200 on drinking and partying, or you can stay in that weekend and you can invest it into your business. This relates to people that are already in the industry. You can go out and spend 200 quid on the weekend, or you can save that 200 quid and invest it in books, courses, events. It always comes down to the choice of two pains. How badly do you want it? You know, are you willing to go through the pain of, I'm going to stay in this weekend? Or then you've got the choice of the other pain that I'm never going to get where I want to be. I'm always going to be driving this crappy car. I'm always going to be doing this shitty job. I'm always going to be coming in at 10 o'clock at night knackered and no time to see my family. Or you stay in one weekend and you invest in your business, you invest in your future. Top tips on staying motivated daily. A vision board is number one. Sometimes you are going to feel tired. I wouldn't confuse lack of motivation with tiredness. Sometimes you need to recover to go harder the next day. So that might be your body saying, you know what, just have a little break. You know, sharpen your axe. My mentor used to say to me, John, sharpen your axe. I'd be like, what do you mean? He went, have a non-network marketing day tomorrow. Turn your phone off, sharpen your axe, you'll come back stronger. Because you can cut down more trees with a sharp axe than you can with a blunt axe. And I think sometimes what we do in our in our business, in our industries. We want it that much that we're tired when we're speaking to people. So we get a little bit lazy and we go, you know what, I'm just going to blanket message everybody because you're tired and you want it that much and you're like, oh, I've had enough. That's the time to go, you know what, I'm going to have a break. I'm going to have a day off. I'm going to refresh. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go sit in the sauna. I'm going to walk the dog. I'm going to watch football. I'm going to play tennis. I'm going to watch a cat, getting scared of cucumbers, whatever. Sometimes that shit's good for you. Sometimes that's good to take a break and recharge. So I wouldn't confuse that with motivation. I don't think you can teach motivation. Your goals are more important to you than they are to me. Let's be honest. Every single person on this live tonight, your goals are much more important to you than they are to me. That doesn't mean I don't want to help you hit them. That's why I'm doing this, right? Of course I want to help you, but your goals are much more important to you than they are to me. So how can I be more motivated for you hitting your goals than you are for yourself? I mean, if you want to be motivated, look at your kids, It's as simple as that. I think that's why mums are phenomenal at our business and at our industry, because they are motivated every single morning when they wake the kids up and every single night when they put them to get to bed. Very, very simple. Vision boards for me kept me motivated. Listening to hip hop music motivates me a lot. I crank that up all the time in my car. I am the guy that you'll see rapping at the traffic lights. But you know what? That stuff motivates me, so why wouldn't I do it? I listen to a lot of personal development in my car as well. I listen to personal development when I'm going to sleep, if I'm not having a little break from it all. So vision boards for me are everywhere. How do you stay positive when you think you're stuck? I just keep going, That's the time to go to an event. That's the time to listen to some personal development. That's the time to find somebody who's where you're at on YouTube and watch them and kind of inspire yourself. Let me just get through these. How do we get seen? How do we keep our Facebook fresh as it filters people from seeing our posts? I think you've got to get active at commenting on other people's stuff and start searching your friends and commenting on their things. Facebook responds to the more stuff you comment on other people's. But I'd be very direct with Facebook. Like, you want to make sure the people that are in your tribe are seeing your stuff rather than every Tom, Dick and Harry. You want to make sure that the people that are in your tribe, your target market, are seeing your stuff. So the way you do that is obviously you have your list of people that are on your Facebook that you want to see your things. So you need to make a conscious effort to go and interact with their stuff. Tips for anyone who is close to signing a team who then change their mind. That's happened to me loads of times. It's still happening to me in the business now. I paid for a guy to come to our convention. He joined the business, paid for his hotel room, paid for his convention ticket. He didn't even let me know that he wasn't coming. I ended up giving his hotel room away. I wasted money on the ticket, the hotel was pretty much wasted. He didn't even let me know that he wasn't coming. What you've got to remember is human beings, a lot of them are weirdos. That's what you've got to remember. A lot of human beings are weirdos. And you know what? It might not even be that. It might just be the fact that something bad's happened to him. I don't know. But I messaged the dude and I'm like, hey, I hope you're all right. I hope nothing's happened to you. And I didn't even get a reply from that. So what you've got to remember is human beings are very odd at times. And this happened to me when I was a personal trainer. I remember training somebody. She signed up. She booked a session in the following week. She went for a walk around the town. She came back and said, I've changed my mind. Can I have my money back? I was like, where did you walk to? Like, what has happened to you? Like, who's taught you out of it within 45 minutes? And you just don't know, because people get into their own heads and they're like, what will my husband say? I really want to do it, but then someone will talk them out of it. You're not going to do that, are you? Again, it doesn't really relate to our industry. It just relates to everything. I remember personal training a girl, and she was like, John, I need to make this my last session. I was like, oh, right, okay. I thought we had like another 6 sessions to go and you've got your goal and everything. And she was like, no, basically my husband's going to train me from now on. And I was like, oh, right, so you want your money back, yeah? She was like, yeah, cool, can I have my money back? I was like, just out of interest, is your husband a personal trainer? She was like, no, he's a plumber. So it was totally irrelevant. It was like her husband was going to train her. He didn't know what he's doing, but it's just the way it is. Like, you just got to say that line all the time. It's just the way it is. Next. It's just the way it is. Next. I'm going to wrap it up in a minute, guys. I'm just going to scroll through these. Let me see, because I know I've answered a couple of these questions. Yeah, Jenny, I had slow moments too. This business is like any business. It goes like that. It's as simple as that, and you got to be aware of that. Just because you're having a slow month doesn't mean you're going to have a slow year. Doesn't mean next month's going to be slower. Doesn't mean next year's going to be slower. You know, you've got to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, are you really building it? Are you really taking it seriously? If you're not, what's stopping you? Tips to keep teams motivated: give them fire. You can't give anybody fire. It's as simple as that. They either want to do it or they don't. If you're putting the events on, lead from the front. People do what you do, not what you say. What's the best self-development book you have read? Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn is always my first thing that I get anybody to listen to. When I was aiming for the top position, I listened to that every single day. Like, people think Tony Robbins is amazing, and he is. But imagine if you could listen to Tony Robbins' mentor. Well, guess what? Jim Rohn mentored Tony Robbins and pretty much nearly every single self-help guru that is out there. So Jim Rohn is the godfather of this stuff, the number one guy. When I was going for the top position in my company, I had the CD and I had it on my phone, Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. And it relates to anything, even if it's not network marketing, it relates to so many things. So it's just a phenomenal, phenomenal audio book, and I listen to it. I mean, I could just do the live and do the whole audio. I know it off by heart, and I still listen to it now. Anything by Jim Rohn for me is a number one thing. David Lyons, great question, man. What would you say were your biggest mistakes when starting out? I wouldn't call them mistakes. I'd call them lessons. But if I've already made if I've done the lesson for you, then maybe you don't need to take that class, right? So my biggest thing, and I mentioned it earlier on in the call, was really direct. I was far too direct with people. I wanted it more for me than I wanted it for them. And it was all about, I've got to get to the next position. I almost became like a vampire. Everyone I spoke to, I was pitching them. Everybody I kind of told about the product wasn't interested, because I was diving into it from my point of view, not from theirs. So actually building relationships is the number one thing that I would say. Let me just go through this. Okay, Claire, what kept you going when you felt like giving up? 8 months in, no teamies and a few customers. Cool. So you've probably got more customers than you had 8 months ago, right? So you're doing well. It's as simple as that. I don't think you should compare yourself to other people. I think you should build your business around you. And, you know, who's better, Kanye West or Ronaldo? One's a rapper, a music producer, one's a footballer. You can't compare the two things. So don't compare yourself to other people. Your story is totally different. I kept going because I knew that I was going to make it successful. I just knew I was. It's the law of averages. It's the law of numbers. If you go through enough people, then they will, you know, you throw this idea on enough people, they will get it. Good people will get this. Let me just scroll. I'm just going to do one last one. I could do this for like 24 hours, guys. It's my passion. I absolutely love it. But sorry, yeah, I keep freezing because I've got my phone and my alarm on my phone, so I didn't miss the call, and I keep hitting snooze instead of turning it off. So every time it freezes, it's my alarm waking me up, basically. Let me just find another one. Last question. Cool, love it. I'm going to use this one. How do you respond when someone says they don't want to join because they know too many people that are in the business already? A lot of people do that. A lot of people kind of see it on the face, but what actually, you've got maximum on your Facebook, you can have 5,000 friends, maximum. There's 85 million people in the UK, and there are 1.7 billion people on Facebook. So that's like looking at a bowl of rice and complaining that there's too many grains of rice in there or something like that. It just doesn't make sense whatsoever. So what you've got to kind of explain to them is, and I use this analogy all the time, it's like if you pack out a soccer stadium, you know, that isn't the amount of people that are doing network marketing in whatever company it is that you're in. I mean, I don't want to be company specific. I only know our statistics for the company that I'm with. But if you think the market's saturated, it's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. It's wide open, guys. 1.6 billion people on Facebook. You know, people think, what do you do when you've run out of people? I'm like, just go online. You know, get online and add somebody. So that's kind of that one. I'm going to do one more for you guys. I'm going to find a really good question. By the way, thanks for the love, guys. Really appreciate it. You know, shout out if you need anything, if you want to help somebody else as well. Put them in touch with me. Let me just find. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of questions that are being repeated. A lot of good answers from you guys as well. See, I don't even need to do anything. You're motivating. You're motivating each other, which is the great thing about our community, right? All right, here's the last one. After you've made the connection and built the relationship, offer them a solution. How do you close the deal? And they go quiet and don't respond. How do you close the deal? Okay, cool. So that's basically the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up with anything, right? Imagine if you invite a load of people to your wedding, your christening, your birthday party. What happens? Human nature. People are busy, man. This is like a 24/7 world that we're living in. I get messages of so many people. They all get battered down my news feed. They get thrown in my outbox. They get filtered, all that kind of stuff. So what you've got to do, I just send, hey, whatever the name is, hope you're good. Did you see this? And then I just use the finger emoji that points up. And if they don't respond after that, then they've kind of gone. They're not interested. But if they do respond, then they might be, hey, yeah, I'm really sorry. I've just been busy. I will get back to you eventually, etc., etc. And then maybe you just go back into relationship building where you throw in, you know what, what's going on? Like a great tip is having a follow-up diary. So everyone that you've kind of got in your wheel of opportunity, write down a little something about them that you can bring up later on. I used to do this when I was personal training. So if I'd kind of been in the gym prospecting and meeting people, I'd write something specific that reminded me about that person. So if they were going on holiday in a week, so I'd write down like Dave, Tenerife. So I'd write that down. So what had happened is I'd then see that when I was going back. Next time I saw him, I'd be like, there's Dave, he went to Tenerife. I'm going to go over and I'm going to ask him how Tenerife was, etc., etc. Or, you know, you might write down Lucy, kids just started school last week. So you'll kind of write that down, and then next time you see her, you're like, hey, how was your little girl's first day at school? And you kind of build that relationship up that way, keeping the conversation going. And then you can kind of use the third party approach if you want to go in for the opportunity thing. I always use hey, thanks for kind of going through this with me or whatever, just a quick question. Who do you know that would be, my business is launching, we're going a little bit crazy at the moment. Who would you know that would like an extra £300 a month working from home? And it might not even be them. They might just say, yeah, I can put you in touch with a couple of people. But at least they've got the opportunity then to ask you what it is that you do. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off the call. Thanks for your engagement. Thanks for your tips as well. Looking forward to doing another one of these. I think I'm going to do something maybe that you guys are live, that you guys could all use as a tool. So maybe I'll do something on why what we do isn't a pyramid scheme, isn't a scam, isn't illegal. I may do something like that. Just give me some likes if that would be useful for you. Then you guys could all share it when I do it. and you could kind of use it as a tool. I'll be the fall guy. I'll take all the shit off all the neck ferrets for you. And but let's not turn it into like Royal Rumble online. So if you think that'd be a good idea, maybe I'll do that. Maybe that'll be the next topic. I maybe call it is it a scam, something like that, and you guys can all share it and put it out there to your teams, and hopefully it'll help you build your business. It'll be very generic. It'll just be network marketing based. It won't be company specific. So I wouldn't be talking about products. I'd just be talking about the business model, why people don't understand it, why they think it's illegal. You know, we're coming into like a 60 year anniversary of our industry, maybe even longer than that. It's ridiculous. The first network marketing companies were set up in the 50s. So pretty crazy, right? All right, guys. Thanks for joining, and yeah, just in closing, just go out there and smash November. I'd love to know if you guys actually had a better Christmas this year, choice-wise, than you did a better Christmas last year than you did a better Christmas this year than you did last year, choice-wise, and there goes my snooze again. Right, I'm out of here. Cheers.